We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many words that end in angle as they could. Words that end in angle. Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for any word in the Oxford English Dictionary that ends in the letters angle. No hyphenated words or abbreviations and no proper nouns. We won't accept, for obvious reasons, the word angle.
Very clever. Right, Anne and Lizzie, you all drew lots before the show, and today you get to go first. Lindsay. 72. How many of them do you could name?
All of them.
If I gave you a day, how many do you think you could name? I'm trying to think how many I could name. About 5.
About 3 I can think of.
OK, what's the most obscure of those 3?
I'm hoping it's one, or I'm going to look really stupid. A mangle.
A mangle?
Yeah. Is that what you do?
Yeah, that's a mangle.
Yeah. OK, you are hoping to score as few points as possible with mangle. Let's see how many people said it. Mangle. It's correct. 45 people said mangle, scores you 45. Richard. It's not really in use much these days.
Mangle can mean to mispronounce words as well. It can mean to cut up and hack and all sorts of things, or a machine for squeezing water out of linen. Stephen.
Now, I'm going to go for wangle.
Wangle.
With a W at the beginning.
Very good. Wangle with a W. Wangle. Yeah, how do you define wangle?
Is it even a word?
Well, if it's a word, exactly. Yeah. Astrid, not entirely confident. Do you mean wangle? Is that the one you wanted to say, Stephen? I think, I think could be a low scorer, if it's a word. OK, you're hoping to score as few points as possible. Let's see how many people said wangle. It's good. Not bad at all. Wangle scores you 26. Wangle, Richard.
Yes, it says here something dishonestly contrived or manipulated, but we usually take it to mean to get something under false
usually
pretenses.
Tickets, isn't it?
Or, yeah.
You wangled some tickets.
Yeah, I wangled some tickets.
What else do you wangle?
You shouldn't. When you say wangle too often, it loses all its meaning.
No, not for me, it doesn't.
Don't say wangle too often.
Plenty of mint left in that gum for me. Wangle. OK, very good. Wangle, 26. You've wangled yourself 26 points. Chris.
Well, I hope Helen won't do this to me, but I thought of strangle.
Well, that remains to be seen. Let's see how it scores. Strangle. It is correct. Strangle. It scored less than wangle. It doesn't seem to make sense at all. Strangle. 15 people said it. Scores you 15. Richard.
I know, surprisingly small score for strangle, but you get more years in prison for strangling than wangling, I think.
Depends which country you're in, Richard.
That is true enough.
There are certain states in America where wangling still carries the big one. OK, Chris, well done. 15 points to you. Andy. Words ending in angle.
Right. Not sure about this one, but we'll go for wrangle.
Wrangle, which is wangle with an R.
Yes.
Wangle with an R.
That sounds good. It's wangle with an R.
I know. Gives you a chance to say wangle a few more times.
Yeah, exactly.
Well.
Wangle. Still meaning something to me. Strangle scored only 15. Let's see how wrangle does. Wrangle. It's correct. Oh, fantastic. Good score, Andy. Wrangle nets you 18. Wrangle, Richard?
Yeah, an angry dispute or noisy quarrel. I think often in prison the stranglers and the wanglers become wranglers. I think they do not like each other.
Fascinating. Anyway, right, we're halfway through the round, so let's take a look at those scores. Well, it's a pretty broad field. Anne and Lindsay, I thought you were doing really well. 45, that was a really good score. But now, now I think it's rubbish. Look, you're way out ahead. Helen and Chris looking fantastic there. Just 15. Very, very good shout from Chris on strangle. Yes, Stephen and Astrid, 26, not bad. Dean and Andy, 18, pretty good. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium?
OK, we are looking for words that end in angle. Dean, didn't Andy do well?
He did very well. I'm hoping it kind of gives me a bit of a scope now so that if I do badly, we'll be OK.
The high scorers are Anne and Lindsay on 45. You want to be scoring 26 or less with this angle, just to avoid becoming the high scorers. Obviously, everyone else has got to answer first. But is words a subject you're comfortable with?
Well, I talk a lot, so...
Good answer. Very good indeed. What are your hobbies, Dean?
What are my hobbies? I have lots of different hobbies, but I'm kind of training to be a medium at the moment.
No.
Yes.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Well, your spirit guide wasn't necessarily with you last time.
Maybe I'm not as good as I thought then.
I feel bad now, because I've dissed them. I've dissed your spirit guide. Don't know what they're going to do to me.
They're going to come and haunt you forever.
Oh, good. Look forward to that. Anyway, 26 is what we want. A score of 26 or less.
I'm kind of going to go for an obvious one, I think, but I'm hoping that because it's obvious, people won't think of it. Possibly.
I like that. Hide in the house. That's the last place they'll look.
I'm going to just go for dangle.
You're going to go for dangle?
Yeah.
There's your red line. You come in below that red line, you are through to the next round. Let's hope you do. Let's see how many people said dangle. 42 people said dangle. That scores you 42, takes your total up to 60. You are now our high scorers. Richard, dangle.
Yeah, to hang loosely swaying to and fro. Do you ever... That's what... It's what it means.
Just what it said in the book.
Do you ever worry that your spirit guides are just taking the mick? They're going, say dangle. That's a really good answer. They'll be in the pub tonight going, I totally got them to say dangle. This is just about the most obvious word I could think of.
Helen, you did so well. 15 was what Chris got you in the last pass.
Chris did well.
Well, you as a team done incredibly well. You have to score 44 or less with this answer to avoid becoming the high scorers. Have you got some good answers in your mind?
Well, all the answers I had that I thought everybody would get were none of that I've got, so I hope I've got the right answers.
Very good. This is sounding very promising.
None of the ones they've said I even thought of.
Right, OK.
Yes.
44 or less is what we want from you, from this answer.
I thought of quadrangle.
Quadrangle.
Yes.
Very good. Here is your red line coming in. If quadrangle gets you below that red line, you are through to the next round. Let's see how many people said it. Quadrangle. It's good! Very well done. Quadrangle scores you 21, takes your total up to 36. Very impressive total there. Richard, quadrangle.
Yeah, it's really any figure with 4 angles and 4 straight sides, but more commonly used as a courtyard surrounded by buildings. I thought of quadrangle when they asked me this question, so I'd have got 21 as well.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
Good,
My spirit guide said, do you know what? I was brutally murdered in a quadrangle. You can have that.
Wow, your spirit guide's probably been on Spectre Morse. It's amazing. Excellent. Astrid. Astrid, you are currently on 26. You have to score 33 to avoid becoming the high scorers. Have you got loads of good words ending in angle?
No. Unfortunately, quadrangle was
the one.
The one.
Mm-hmm.
So the only other one I can really think of that hasn't been done is a bit obvious, but I'm going to go for entangle.
Entangle. You see, that's taken us on in a bit of a new direction there. I like that. Very good. Entangle. Here's your red line. Below that, entangle sees you through to the next round. Let's see how many people said it. Entangle. Well done. Very, very good indeed. Entangle scored you 2. Good answer. Gives you a total of 28.
Yeah, very good answer. I mean, I'm not going to tell you what entangle means, you know, roughly. It takes a long time. It's one of those words, you know what it means, but it takes a long time to describe.
Well, nearly as long as explaining why you're not going to tell us what it means. Very good. A brilliant total score there, 28. Very nice and low. Anne,
Your turn eventually. Have you had millions of ideas and you've just heard everybody say all the words you
Yeah,
had?
and the quadrangle one was mine as well. So if they've asked 100 in here, we'd have all gone for that. Right, I've got a few left.
I'm going to tell you what you have to get, though. You have to score 14 or less. Otherwise, you will overtake Dean and Andy, and you will be the high scorers, and you'll be leaving us at the end of this round. That can't happen.
Please do badly.
Very gracious of you there, Dean. OK, so...
It probably is far too obvious, but the best one I can think of is spangle.
OK, spangle. Here's your red line coming in. It's quite low, I'm afraid. Spangle has to get you below that red line. Let's see if it does. Let's see how many people said spangle. It had to be 14 or under. It was 14 on the nose. That's fantastic. Spangle does it for you. Richard, Spangle.
Very good. I mean, very similar to a sequin, a spangle, and just got you there. Fantastic.
So the losing pair are Dean and Andy. Richard, what should they have gone for?
Well, there were, out of those 72 words, there were 51 pointless answers. An awful lot of, angles, pentangle, all that sort of thing. Anne, you said spangle. If you want to bespangle a dress, you can do. Bespangle would have been pointless. And Astrid, you said entangle. If you'd said disentangle or unentangle, both of those are pointless, would have got you £250. Let's take a look at some of the more unusual words that were there. Kangle, which is to dispute. Crangle, which is to twist or writhe or wriggle. Garfangle, which is a steak restaurant in London. It's not really, it's a fish hook. Let's look at a few more. Langle, which is a thong or a rope. Meringue is another word for meringue, so you can have a lemon meringue pie. Quattro decangle. That's how you pronounce that, quattro decangle. And that's a plain figure having 14 straight sides. Quinquangle, which is another word for pentangle, also a very good name for a Harry Potter character if you're watching J.K. Rowling. Touch angle, which is a worm bait used in fishing, as we all know. I see you all going, should have said touch angle. And twangle, which is what I've been speaking for the last minute and a half. Let's take a look at the most obvious answers you could have given. Actually, we didn't see any of these. Even Dangle's not there, you'd be pleased to hear. These are the ones that most of our 100 people said. In third, it's tangle with 53, much worse than entangle. Then bangle with 57. What do you think is top? What's the
Triangle, I should think.
Let's take a little look. Triangle would have got you 82 points.